Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram, welcoming you to another edition of the Cricket Happening Show today. And on this Cricket Happening Show, what we are going to really look at is New Zealand actually registering an innings defeat victory over Zimbabwe in the first test by a margin of 117 runs. But yes, there was one good thing that happened for Zimbabwe, and that was Sean Williams, who, braving a flu, actually went on to hit his maiden test ton. Not only that, he also became the fastest Zimbabwean to a century. This was the fastest century by a Zimbabwean cricket player in test. So that was another first that he had. So Sean Williams, definitely a very commendable innings from him. It was studded with boundaries, which I'll talk about. But at least Zimbabwe put up a sort of a fight with Graham Creamer also showing that what a gutsy cricketer he is, and really taking a lot of body blows when Neil Wagner was bowling and stuck it out there in the centre. But Zimbabwe still, I thought they still showed a bit of fight there, but unfortunately, the writing was definitely on the wall, but it was an innings defeat by 117 runs to the Zimbabweans in the first test. I'll be talking about that. And as far as West Indies and India were concerned, today was day 2, and on day 2, India continued to really flourish, one could say, starting at their overnight score of 126 for 1. They extended the lead to 162 with KL Rahul in his brief career now getting on to his third test century in just 6 test matches. He went on to a big one. He made 158, and that enabled India to close at 358 for 5. So they're the 162 runs ahead right now. I'll be talking about that. But first, let's head to, and also we'll also have a look at cricket news if at all we have time. So just talking about the match between Zimbabwe and New Zealand. In fact, it ended on the fourth day itself actually, and one was waiting to see what Zimbabwe were going to come up with after struggling yesterday at 121 for 6. In fact, they lost Craig Irvine very quickly in the morning as Trent Bolt actually picked up his wicket for 50 with 7 boundaries. But after that, the 7th wicket partnership was the one which really held the New Zealand in the field. As one was, it was Sean Williams, and Sean Williams was not, he decided that the best thing for him today, as I said, he was braving a flu too, and with that he had lots of other problems, but still, let me tell you, Creamer definitely played lots of strokes. He was driving well, he swept the spinners well, used his feet well to the spinners, and he was really really taking the attack to the New Zealand camp by actually slamming boundaries on a very regular basis. At the other end, it was his captain Graham Creamer was also sticking it out, and both were, in fact, it was Sean Williams who was making merry, one could say, that he was getting runs very thick and fast. At the other end, Creamer was defending well, also hitting some boundaries when an opportunity arose. And also, one has to say, Graham Creamer, it was a gutsy little innings from him, because Neil Wagner tested him with a lot of bounces, hit him on his anatomy as he did in the first innings, but Creamer stuck it out there in the centre along with the very strokeful Sean Williams, as both put on a big partnership. In fact, they put on 118 runs for the 7th wicket to keep the New Zealanders on the field. As that was happening, and Sean Williams actually reached his century, and this was his maiden test ton for Sean Williams. So that's a big first for Sean Williams. And also, not only that, as I said, he scored the century in 106 balls, and this was the fastest by a Zimbabwean in Test history. As it replaced, there was a former player, an opening batsman by the name Johnson, who actually held the record of 106 balls. So now he did it in 105 balls, Sean Williams. So now he holds the record for the fastest century by Zimbabwean in Test cricket. So 119, but what a knock. Both, as I said, were really complementing each other well. And as that was going on, and the score had reached 242, in fact, they didn't lose any wicket after that. 242 and that was the time they had a session between tea where they didn't lose a single wicket, with Creamer and Williams actually sticking it out there. And then finally Creamer was consumed by Sodhi LBW after making 33, a gutsy 33 with 6 boundaries. And then we saw Chakabwa being dismissed, bowled by Sodhi for 11. And then after that, Sean Williams realized that it was he who has to really take up the mantle, and it was Mitchell Santner who actually took Sean Williams' wicket for 119 with 21 well-hit boundaries in that knock. So you can just imagine 21 boundaries in 119 gives you 104. So only 15 runs were something it took. Other than that, Sean Williams dealt in boundaries with the New Zealand bowling, and that was the good thing to come for Zimbabwe in this first test match. Chinoya was not out on nod, and thus ended the innings for Zimbabwe at 295 all out, and thus New Zealand registering an innings and 117 runs victory in the first test match. And they go one zip in the 2-match series. And as far as the bowling was concerned, Tim Southee bowled excellently, 15 overs 3 minutes 2 for 68. Trent Boult was excellent throughout, 17 overs 3 minutes 52 runs and 4 wickets. Neil Wagner 17 overs 1 minute 62 runs and 2 wickets. It was a terrifying bowling from Neil Wagner, who was really terrifying the Zimbabwean players. First in the first innings he did that, and in the second innings he was behind Creamer. Santner 17 overs 6 made and 1 for 32, the left arm spinner. Sodhi picked up 1 wicket, 12 overs 1 made and 1 for 66, and Williamson bowled 1 over. It's a maiden, and Ross Taylor was named man of the match. Now we shift our attention down, going to the Savannah Park, Jamaica in Kingston, where it was day 2 in the match between India and West Indies, and India resumed at their overnight score of 126 for 1. And KL Rahul and Pujara were there chiseling together a partnership. And KL Rahul today, he continued his good form as he started playing strokes all around the wicket. He was looking pretty good with his stroke making, was sounding very confident. Cheteshwar Pujara was the one who was really just playing second fiddle to KL Rahul, as this partnership was really growing very well. And the bowlers couldn't do much. In fact, Shannon Gabriel, he bowled well, but I thought there was a bit of, they decided to concentrate on an off-stump line, Shannon Gabriel and Jason Holder. But Miguel Cummins, I thought, was the one who was absolutely on the mark. He was pitching the ball very well. He was allowing the ball to do something there. So that was good bowling from Miguel Cummins, as Pujara and Rahul slowly took the score along. And the score had already swelled on to the 200 mark when Pujara and Rahul were at the crease. While that was happening, there was the West Indians did not get any rewards in the first session at all, with the spinners also being dealt with very well by these 2 Indian batsmen. And Pujara was not the one who was taking risks. He was really content on occupying the crease, but Rahul was the one who was not only making a very good selection. And one good thing about Rahul that one has to say is that normally in a big innings you see a lot of chances being given, but KL Rahul's a flawless innings, and what a way he reached his century. He deposited Ralston Chase into the stands, just raised his bat, and that was a sort of a celebration for him. And KL Rahul, as I said, went on to hit his 3rd test century in just 6 test matches. And this is his first tour of the West Indies. What a knock he played. He was confidence personified. A flawless innings from KL Rahul. And then while this was going on, and we saw that Pujara, after getting a ball onto the leg side, went for a single, and that resulted in a run out being done. Chase actually running out Pujara for 46 for 4-4. So that was the first wicket that West Indies got in the second session in the whole day. And after that we saw KL Rahul being joined in by the skipper Virat Kohli. And Virat Kohli, let me tell you, when Virat Kohli came, probably the new ball was due, and one was wondering whether Jason Holder will go for the new ball. But a big surprise, that Jason Holder decided that he won't take the new ball. Normally, with the new ball, we see that probably one could say that Virat Kohli might have some sort of, it might be a bit shaky, but probably could have taken a chance. But one was really wondering as to why Jason Holder, the West Indian captain, did not take the new ball at that time. The second new ball was due when Virat Kohli was at the crease. But then we saw the partnership really, once again, there was another partnership which started with the old ball being bowled, and we definitely saw that Kohli was not looking very confident today, one could say, even though he hit a 6 and 4 boundaries in that knock where he was partnering KL Rahul. But as the score reached 277, KL Rahul, after a wonderful effort of 158, there was a ball down the legs, and this is what happened. There was no new ball taken by the West Indies till tea time, but after tea, Jason Holder decided that he's going to take the new ball. Well, he took the new ball, and look at the effect that it had. Even though there was a sort of dispute as to whether Rahul had actually got a nick onto his bat or the glove down the leg side when Shane Dowrich took the catch, but Gabriel with his, in fact, the first ball after tea that Gabriel bowled to Rahul dispatched it for a boundary, but after that Gabriel came back and actually picked up the wicket of KL Rahul when he was caught down the leg side. But Rahul was not happy, but he had to walk with a career test best score of 158 with 15 fours and 3 sixes, which made it 277 for 3. And once KL Rahul was gone, Rahane entered the scene and he joined Virat Kohli. And then Virat Kohli succumbed. Now, Virat Kohli's dismissal was a very soft dismissal as he was caught by Rajendra Chandrika off the bowling of the right arm off spin of Ralston Chase, as Virat Kohli came down the wicket for 44 with 4 fours and 1 6. So that made it 310 for 4. And then Ashwin came in, but this time Ashwin was gone as Devendra Bishoo claimed him LBW for 3. And the new ball was having an effect here as India were 327 for 5 and Ashwin departed. But after that, Ajinkya Rahane decided to play some good strokes as he carved 6 boundaries and a 6 in an unbeaten knock of 42 towards close of play with Ridhiman Saha not out on 17 with 2 boundaries as India closed the day on day 2 at 358 for 5, but definitely in a very good position after taking 162 runs lead here in the first innings. And looking at the bowling, and also one has to say that the West Indies bowling, one felt sorry that their pace resources were crippled, with Miguel Cummins, who bowled so well in the morning session, was unable to bowl with the second new ball as he had some problems with his some injury with his anatomy part of the body, and so he couldn't bowl. So that was a big blow for the West Indies, I thought. And so Gabriel, 23 overs, 8 minutes, 1 for 50, has always been a sort of an impressive bowler all through the series. Miguel Cummins bowled well today, but unluckily could not bowl due to injury. 15.4 overs, 3 maidens, 54 runs for no wicket. Jason Holder also bowled a good line, 23.2 overs, 9 maidens, none for 49. Ralston Chase did well to bowl 29 overs, 3 maidens, 91 runs and 2 wickets. Bishoo, 25 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 79. Brathwaite, 9 overs for 26. And I can only say that West Indies have to, the ball is not, the ball is fairly old right now, and it's not going to be easy for the West Indians. They have to pick up some quick wickets tomorrow. Ajinkya Rahane is looking good. Ridhiman Saha can really, he's also another good player, and India still have some batting to come. So definitely we are looking forward to a fine day coming up on the third day. There's a forecast for rain, but one has to wait and watch. So that is as far as the West Indies versus India is concerned on day 2. And I'm trying to see whether I can pick on some cricket news. As far as cricket news is concerned, Glenn Maxwell has been dropped from the Australian squad, which has been named for the ODI series against Sri Lanka. And it comes as a bit of surprise for many, but one thing that one has to really understand here is that Glenn Maxwell has not been amongst the runs of late, and that was probably because of his consistency. He has lost his opportunity to be in the one-day mix of things. Well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, I think that really says it all and also ends my cricket show for today. And that's it from me, your host Ram, for today. And see you all on my next cricket happening show, which is coming on tomorrow. That's on a Monday. Till such time, it's goodbye. Thank you.